Welcome back to Kicking It with the Callies. As you can see from the title, we're about to do another Chopping It Up video. And today, my guests are Kiana and Eli.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Hello, I'm Eli Kirkland. And I would like to say something before we get started.
What do you want to say?
I've taught Jack and Nigel everything they know about YouTube.
Kind of got us started on this little thing.
I kind of did. Well, I mean, we're not going to talk about that.
That's not the topic of it. And Kiana, you want to shout out your YouTube channel?
Yes. Hey guys, I'm Kiana with Keeping Up with Kiana. Go ahead and like and subscribe and comment on my YouTube channel.
So we'll drop the links all down below and everything. So y'all know how it goes. We either the guest either gets to choose a topic or choose the meal. They decided to choose the meal, which is what today?
Wings.
Today we're going to have 3 flavors wings. We decided to do 2 of the most traditional kind, barbecue and
Buffalo.
And we decided to throw a little extra something in there. We're going to make our own sweet chili sauce.
Yeah.
On the side, we're going to make some homemade, freshly cut fries. Hallelujah, Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus. And
some
then
veggies.
we're going to have some veggies on the side.
You know?
Now, we have quite a bit of people here, and they only got 2 bags. I don't know why they thought that would be enough. So everybody's going to get about 2 wings. All right. And so basically the main course is the fries, and then they get wings on the side.
No, we're gonna try to get some more wings before we get started. But yeah, so they chose the meal: chicken wings, French fries, and
Why
why not?
not?
We love wings, right? You know,
Everybody loves wings.
I love wings. You love
I love wings.
I
Yeah,
think
they're
everybody
really
likes wings. So my topic today was.
Let's give honor to Nyla in her absence.
Everybody knows. We gonna shout out my baby. Shout out to Nyla. She in the background somewhere enjoying the
I was
family.
gonna act like she wasn't right there.
But so my topic today for you two is gonna be leaving the nest.
Okay.
I want to talk about how
You've
you
done that before, you know.
Yeah,
we
I
have.
feel like y'all got a little bit of
We've
experience
experienced
in it, you know,
that
so
area, okay.
we'll talk about that while we get the food ready.
And we not only left the nest, but we left the what? State.
Yeah.
We'll get into
We
that a
left the
little later,
tree.
though. We'll talk about that a little later. Let's get in the kitchen.
All right, y'all. So we just finished cleaning up the kitchen and getting the chicken prep to get seasoned. They cooking a little bit different than when me and Nyla cooked the chicken the first time. They want to use the air fryer, so they definitely gonna have to take control of this one. You feel me?
Okay.
I ain't never-
Hands already washed.
Yeah.
Chicken already clean.
Yeah.
We're gonna be seasoning it now. Okay.
They got secret ingredients. You feel? What that? Oh.
There's something we cannot tell you what we use.
Oh, you don't want to tell them what secret ingredient?
Cajun seasoning, lemon pepper, onion powder, Italian seasoning, nature seasoning. I'm just playing. You can say it.
You got it. Nature secret.
Nature seasoning. Now we use this as a substitute. It's not really a substitute because it has salt in it, but it's better than
Just
this regular
salt.
Morton salt. So and garlic powder. And our secret ingredient, we'll tell you when we put it in. So continue to watch.
All right. So they about to get ready to season up this chicken real quick.
Let me say something before you start that conversation.
Yup.
If you're from where I'm from, we season the chicken in the sink. All right, go ahead.
All right. So I don't know who want to start first, but first question for y'all is how old were you guys when you decided to leave the nest? And where did you go?
I was 17. Pretty much it was when I went to college. I lived on a dorm at University of Houston, so that was kind of my first time like out of my parents' house. I was still like 50 minutes away, so I wasn't too far from home, but that was kind of my first experience by myself, and it was great. I enjoyed it. Expensive, but great.
I moved out when I went to college and I was 18 and I hated it.
You hated it? Why did you hate it?
Because I miss my parents and my siblings.
Yeah, but
I got over it.
State.
I moved to a different state. I moved to Atlanta and I had a very hard time probably the first, well my parent, neither one of my parents called me the whole first month I was there. So none of my siblings called me when I was there. So
Okay, so
Your parents moved you down. No, I did have a very hard time the first 3 months. Really, probably the first 2 months, and then I started to get used to it. But I was 18. I had never been away from home, but I was ready to. So, out of all my siblings at the time, I was probably the most ready to be gone. So, as far as I wasn't ready to get out the house, but I was probably the most prepared to leave the house.
Independent for it and stuff.
Exactly. As far as not financially, but as far as I needed my own space.
yeah. So why did you pick Houston, Kiana, and why did you pick Atlanta?
So for me, my family already moved to Houston, Texas, and I actually did want to go to school. I wanted to go to Clark Atlanta, but I figured, we had just moved to Houston, and I already didn't want to be too far. And I was already in a new place, a new city, so I already had to get acquainted with Houston. So like I said, University of Houston was only 50 minutes away, so it was still far enough to kind of be away from family, but still close enough to where I could go back. And I would say for me, the first semester I really enjoyed it. I probably went home maybe 2 or 3 times, but I think after the first semester is kind of when I was when things started to die down is when I started going back home more.
So Eli,
What was the question?
Why Atlanta?
why Atlanta of all places to leave?
Well, I knew I wanted to go to an HBCU, so the picks were either Morehouse or Howard. My cousin Andre went to Clark, Atlanta, which if anybody knows anything about the AUC, they're literally right next to each other. So I said I'll go to Atlanta to be with my cousin. And that's what happened. So I chose Atlanta. I did not know what a Morehouse was at the time, but my family drove me down. Everybody, even my nephew, drove me down, and we did it that. Pause. This is the secret ingredient.
Yeah,
Oh. Mustard.
mustard, yellow mustard.
Mustard. Never put mustard in my chicken, so I'm.
I taught him that one.
Yeah.
It's good that I think it adds a little flavor and it helps keep all the seasoning and.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm ready to try that one though.
All right, Jeff. How about you stir this up for me?
All right, I got your hand clean. What are some of the pros and cons do you think of moving Eli so far away from family?
Well, some of the obvious cons are you're away from family. So you miss family. You can't go home to get a good hot cooked meal if you wanted one. You miss a lot of the family events that happen. Some of the pros is you learn how to be an adult. You struggle and it teaches you a whole bunch of good stuff. You literally you get to create your entire life all over again by being so far away. So, yeah. What about you, Kiana?
I would say for me, well, because now I do live in Atlanta, which is far from Texas, so I would agree with Eli. I do miss out on a lot of family functions. You can fly back, of course, but it's just not the same because you still miss a lot of stuff. And then missing the home cooked meals. But the pros of it is that you kind of just grow into yourself. You find yourself more. And you just get to experience life outside of your family.
All right, we're gonna put a hold on this conversation very quickly. This is an air fryer. Makes it taste delicious. You just set your chicken on there. One thing about an air fryer is you cannot you can't stack your chicken. It has to be all one layer. Okay? I'll show you guys this when I'm done. You can crowd the chicken because the chicken is going to shrink, but that's what it's going to look like. You put your air fryer on about 375 and you let it go for about 30 minutes. In between, so about 15 minutes and you flip the chicken. And that's how that goes.
So 30 minutes total, flip in the middle at 15, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it get all crispy all the way around and stuff.
Okay. Now, we're going to make fresh cut Eli fries. You have Idaho potatoes, and I'm going to show you how I want them cut. Some people like to keep the skin on. I don't think I'm going to do it today. because I don't want to. So we don't currently have a peeler, so we're just gonna use a knife, old style, old way. Everybody knows how that goes. All right. So the last question you asked Jeff was, what are the pros and the cons of moving out of the nest?
So, I moved from Detroit to East Lansing for college. Like, so like Kiana said, I could go home a little more frequently than you could. So for me, I didn't really go home a lot. Did you kind of feel like you, since you had left the nest and went like far off, that you kind of were expected to be on your own, or like? Because sometimes I felt like I wasn't supposed to call home because I was supposed to be an adult. Like, did you ever have a feeling like that leaving?
Not at first, but as the years went by, then yeah, I feel like I need to figure it out by myself. But if I absolutely did not know what to do, and I was at, literally did not have the funds, if I didn't, then I would call back home. But it was always embarrassing. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would agree as well. Like with moving out, you kind of wanted to like put on this persona that like you're grown and you don't need your parents, So a lot of times when you were in a bind, you would try to like figure things out yourself, unless it was just like something that you had no control over, and then you would call your parents for. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff that like a lot of minor stuff that I went through that my parents did not necessarily know about, just because I didn't want to add like additional stress onto them, or like have them worrying about me. So I think that played a part in it as well.
What are some of the things that, like leaving, that you kind of started to realize on your own that your parents kind of always nagged you about as like a teenager that you kind of didn't really pay a lot of attention to?
Wow, for me, it started like when I started paying bills. Like growing up, my parents would always complain about like having too many lights on or like letting the water run before I take a shower. And I never really cared about stuff like that until I started paying for that stuff myself. And now that, you have to pay for water, you have to pay for lights, you realize that stuff does cost and you can't just leave it running or just leave it on all day. I mean, you can, but the bill's going to be expensive.
I would agree.
So, I
don't have a better answer.
Yeah, and then also I would say with like food too, like eating out every day versus like buying groceries. I learned that you can't just eat everything in the refrigerator. You can, but you have to replace it with your own money, So I think money was probably the biggest thing that I've like learned.
What are some of the things you enjoyed about having that freedom though, like being at your own house or whatever, like in your own dorm or whatever it was?
I can tell people to get out when I want to. I'm just playing. No, a huge hobby of ours is home decor. So switching stuff around whenever we want to.
Yeah, decorating it how you want to.
Decorating it.
You can have people over whenever you want to. You can leave in and leave out whenever you want to. You don't have to like always let someone know where you're at. You don't have a curfew. What else? You can eat what you want, because sometimes my mom would make us eat whatever was on the menu for that night. If I wanted to have ice cream for breakfast, I could.
Hence my gut.
Yeah, so it's just a lot more freedom as far as like everything that I can do. And yeah.
So when you're peeling your potatoes, make sure you put it in some cold water because they will turn a brown color just while you're trying to cut up the other ones. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut them in half. Actually, I think I might cut them in 4 and then cut them into fried baked potatoes. See when I'm done. Okay, so we have the chicken that's cooking. This is basically what it should look like. Y'all see that good? There we are. That's basically what it should look like. We're gonna sauce those when everything is done. As for the fries, when you cut your fries, they should look like this. Should look like this. Make sure you're soaking them in water as you're cutting because your fries will turn brown, okay? And then when you're done, cutting all of them, let it sit for about 30 minutes in some cold water. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pat them dry and I'm gonna actually fry them in some oil.
No, we were looking for buttermilk seasoning. Yeah, see? They just forgot the buttermilk. Alright, come on camera, you're in this video, Jim. Come on, you son.
Did y'all put the
All right, now we're gonna make ranch. My sister just moved into this apartment, so we're gonna be making it in a rice cooker.
All right. Gotta get it how you live.
Exactly. Not gonna taste any different. Some real mayo. It doesn't matter what brand you decide to use. Real mayo, buttermilk, any type of brand of buttermilk, and these Hidden Valley ranch packets. It has to be buttermilk.
Has to. Look, I went to 18 stores today because only one store had them, and they only had exactly 3 of them though, so we got lucky, you feel me? But if it ain't buttermilk, you might as well just make sandwiches with the mayo because we not using it, right?
Exactly. Put about a cup of this.
Notice we don't measure stuff, you feel me? Eyeball it.
About a cup and a half of this. This. Just put it on in there. Why not?
Pre-measured.
Yeah. And you can use about 2 of these with the cup and the cup and a half. We're gonna make a little extra, so I'm gonna use 3 packets.
I like ranch with my chicken something.
Me too.
No.
Yeah. I do like it.
It's kind of tasty, right?
No, for real. Okay, and if you have a whisk this. If you have a fork, just whisk it with a fork. And then put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to let it just set. And you have you some what? Ranch. And it tastes just like, cause I don't eat ranch out of the bottle. I think it tastes disgusting. My favorite type of ranch, and you know, ranch is my favorite dip. So I'm very picky when it comes to ranch. I love restaurant ranch. So I had to look up how to make it because I tried so many different ranches in the bottle and it never tastes like the restaurant. So I made it. All right, so now I'm putting the fries in the oil. You're not gonna cook them right away. You cook them just a little bit. Then you're gonna take them out, put them in the freezer for about 30 minutes, then finish cooking them. That's how you get that nice crispy fry.
I ain't never know how to make a good fry, bro. You feel me? By the time I make my fries, they be looking brown, and they look like pieces of bacon sometimes.
I do oven fries, so
I'm in here learning.
directions.
I'm learning.
Keep it in the oil for about, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes. Really just 5, and then take it out. It's not gonna look done.
It's not supposed to. It's not done.
This is what the wings is looking like right now. Come on, let's do a bookmark.
A thumbnail.
A thumbnail. 1, 2, 3, go.
Something to eat.
Take this red. Take this
Take some of the little son.
red. Is it too salty?
Little bit.
Okay. So when it's too salty, just add more stuff. Mayo and a little bit more buttermilk. Okay. And then letting it sit really does change the flavor. There you go.
That joke is good though, but it was slight.
All right, now taste it.
It's so crazy how many beer we have here.
Better, still a little
Yeah, no,
salty.
it's better.
When it sits, it's not gonna be as salty. So we just gonna put it in the refrigerator, let it sit.
My next question though is, what is next for you as far as movement? Where you want to live?
So next, the homeowners. I'm a huge believer in not paying other people's mortgage. Pay your own mortgage. So my apartment that I currently live in, I love it, but I'm paying somebody else's mortgage. So I would like to own a house, my own house, within the next year or 2. Hopefully here.
You thinking staying in Atlanta?
I'm not thinking, I am.
Oh, he knows. He's staying.
Oh man.
What about you, Kiana?
I think my goals are the same. Definitely would like to buy a house very soon. Yeah, I think I will stay in Atlanta. I definitely see myself there long term, so I think I'll be there for a while.
You'll see yourself doing like making it as like a source of income, like renting it out or.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
like-
the starter home,
Yeah.
we'll have that starter home, and after that, we'll rent that out. And yeah.
Are y'all just gonna buy like for the home that you want to like end off in, or you gonna buy, or you gonna build, or like?
That's something I don't know yet.
I know. I would like to build, just because I want to like customize my house the way that I want it to be. I would definitely like to build my house versus like just purchasing something that's been there for a while. Just so I can kind of like customize it the way that I want and make it my dream house.
That's what they'll look like going into the freezer. So they can be nice and crispy and brown. Yeah, I don't know yet. I probably do want to build, simply because there's no house that fits exactly what I want right now. I have a list.
Yeah, high ceilings.
High ceiling.
Portland windows.
Got to have high ceilings, even in my
Marble
apartment.
counters. Yeah. Want to customize the cabinetry.
What do you want to do?
Okay, so-
Put in the comments.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna finish cooking this up, and we'll show y'all the finished product.
Gotta show them how to sauce it.
So we'll show y'all when it's ready to sauce it up, and then finished product. Something to eat, some food, some snack. You know how to do it.
Get ready to start saucing the wings. Really, all you do is really simple. You just cut up some butter. Cut up some butter. Turn on the stove. And then all I'm gonna do,
High. On high.
yeah, turn it up on high. Let the butter melt, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this in and put the wings in.
And what we also do, well, actually for this is high because it's a gas stove. If you were using your stove, it'll probably be medium.
Yeah.
On a medium heat. This particular stove needs to be on high. And then when you're done with this, we're gonna put it in the oven on about 350, and it helps that to stick to the chicken a little longer, and we're done.
Everybody's favorite, the onion.
What was your favorite?
It's so good.
What was your favorite
Chili
one?
right now.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
I'm hungry.
Huh? Some food.
Some food?
What was your favorite one?
The Asian one.
The sweet chili. Yeah, everybody's saying sweet chili right now.
Can you back me now?
Huh?
I'm now.
Okay, I got you. What was your favorite?
You see I'm looking with my glass?
Is it because they're
Mhm,
taking it? But then you guys are taking it. What is you eating? You gonna put that on video?
What was your favorite wing?
All of them.
All of them. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Chopping It Up on Kicking It with the Callies. I want to thank Kiana and Eli for joining me today. Once again, shout out your YouTube outlet.
Yes. Go ahead and follow Keeping Up with Kiana on YouTube.
Yep, so that will be in the description down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As we always say, keep dreaming. If you don't have a dream to chase,
You have
You
to-
have no reason to move forward. Yeah.